The only time where I really faced racism in sports was when we played games. Like, when we actually, like, played against other teams and stuff. And then the other team would just say, like, a bunch of racist stuff. Also, the parents. So, like, I don't even blame the opponent. I blame their parents. Because if your parents are saying it, they're teaching their kids that that's okay.
Right.
And you don't say that to another, because that could lead into a big problem.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've been suspended before for like rugby games and football games due to fighting.
Okay.
Because of the stuff they were saying.
Okay.
To me, and I let it get to me.
Right.
Now, like here and there, my teammates will make a couple jokes, which is okay, right? Because then I crack some jokes too. Like, that's just what a family is. That's what a team is.
Right.
And you know, they don't go like across the line.
Right.
So.
Right. It's not a personal attack. It's
it's more of fun
banter that they would do with each other.
Exactly.
Along Ukrainian or Polish or I mean, there's stereotypes in every culture.
It is funny. Like sometimes, like in rugby and stuff, like we'll be saying some random jokes about like everyone's race or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty funny.
What else?
I feel like
on the hot seat, buddy.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like sports definitely teaches you maturity in a way. Like as you grow up doing sports, your mindset develops, right? So you just learn to accept the fact, like what it is, who you're working with, teamwork, individuality. That's one thing I definitely learned. Like as playing soccer, I was working with a team, I was working with different people, but with track, everything's individual, right?
Right.
So I'm held accountable for everything. If I train less, that's on me.
Right.
If I train lots, that's still on me.
Right.
So everything, if I make a mistake, if I don't do good enough, everything's on me. So I can't put anyone else under the hot seat.
Right.
It's all on me, right?
So people respect effort, performance, respect the contributions you make to the team. And I think what we've talked about here is the whole idea of racism impacting us as individuals. It causes us to maybe not be able to be our very best. And then we have choices that we're going to make. And there will be kids that watch, and they're going to have choices that they're going to make when they become targets. Bad things happen to all of us, right?
100%.
Bad things happen to all of us. Not everybody gets the girl that Ryan's got in Pennsylvania, right? With a very bright future looking. Not everybody's getting the girl that Vikram's going to get through Advisor Danny Matchmaking Services. Right?
Yeah. $24.99.
Not everybody gets to keep their job. Not everybody gets to keep their health. Not everybody gets to do whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying racism is equal to all that, because I can't say, because I'm the white guy, I've ever experienced that. So I can't speak about that specific. But I can speak about pain.
Yeah.
I can speak about the times I felt maybe something similar. And it was at that time, sometimes I fought. Sometimes I lashed out. Sometimes I broke stuff. And sometimes something magical happened that caused me to turn that into motivation for what you said, proving them wrong.
Exactly.
And that's what we have to do, because everything we try to do as part of this YouTube channel is focused not only on business and travel, but on inspiration, on helping people make, like you, like him and me, good choices every day. The best possible choices.
Honestly, not as much. No, it was more, I grew up doing soccer till I was like around 12 years old. Like my whole life I was playing soccer. Then I shifted into track and field after that. But soccer was definitely like more Indian people there. Okay. But I was playing with clubs that had also more white people in it, more white kids. But like there was never really any discrimination that I faced. But like when I entered track, there was some discrimination because I was new. So there's coaches doubting me. Oh, will he be able to do this? Will he be able to do that? Just because it's Indian. But then I took that and just turned it into success. I worked hard for it, and now I am where I am today.
Does it work the other way as well? Do you think there are groups here in Canada of predominantly or exclusively Indian that have a difficult time assimilating, say, the white guy into their group?
Ooh, I'd probably say maybe for soccer. I'm not too sure, but for soccer there might be some. But like usually with sports, like usually everyone's trying to be included, right? Like there shouldn't be any discrimination or anything like that. Like no matter how good or bad the player is, you shouldn't base it on their gender or on their culture.
Culture, color, or anything
Culture,
else.
color, everything.
You know, I'm a firm believer in every country
Yeah.
having its unique identity. I'm not somebody that believes the world should all come together and be exactly the same.
Yeah.
I like differences. I like distinctives.
Yeah.
I like to know that when I go in the future, as soon as possible, to India, I'm going to enjoy the differences in India, specifically the Punjab.
Yeah.
Right? I like Japan because it's a very long, historic Japanese culture.
Yeah, exactly.
When you come to Canada and the United States and some of the other Western countries, then you have this hodgepodge,
Yeah.
this melting pot. So we are all Canadians
Yeah.
by our passport and by the fact that we were born here in this country.
Yeah.
But there is nothing that says he's more Canadian than the other one.
Yeah.
So people, individuals, will always have problems. They will always have a view that is shaped by what their dad and their mom and their culture and their growing up and what they watched on TV and what they ate will shape evil or good.
Hopefully it's good.
So I guess what we should think about is we are all different, even here,
Yeah.
doing this YouTube together. But that's a good thing. We should treat each other
Exactly.
the way we want to be treated, right?
That's what helps people grow too, right? It makes you expand throughout the world. You learn differences, right? And you learn those differences, you accept them, and then you learn and move as a person.
What did you find with people and sport? That's what we're talking about here. Being subject to some kind of racism. Were there many? Was it isolated?
I'd say it's isolated, definitely. Like personally, I never really faced any racism in school or in sports, but it's definitely like isolated incidents. Like people pick on like who they say is the weak one, and they pick on that person, and they turn that into racism.
Kind of a bully mentality,
bully
and they use
mentality.
racism as the target
As
of
a
their
target, yeah.
bully activity.
Exactly,
They're
yeah.
evil. Growing up then, there was times when you felt, because of your skin color, you were looked down on.
Yeah.
You were limited in terms of the opportunities. It wasn't just your physical size.
Yeah.
It wasn't just other potential issues or personality conflicts, but it was also because of where your heritage is.
Exactly.
Okay.
A person from a different race comes onto the team, I know for a fact I'm not gonna make those kinds of jokes. You know, I'm bringing him in like as a brother, and you know, treat him like he's actually like my blood brother. Because at the end of the day, in any sport you do anything for your teammates,
Right.
and that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to preach. Because in the future, I want to be a professional rugby player. You know, I want to be the first Indian to actually play, and like not be on the bench or whatever. So I'm trying to make a statement. I'm trying to make a mark on behalf of my like race.
You mentioned something key in all of that process. You had a coach, Travis Bell,
Yep.
who took an active interest and took Ryan, you under his wing.
Basically.
You helped mentor him. And I know from talking to Vikram that that's really a role he wants to live out the rest of his life. He wants to use sports, he wants to use whatever talent, gifts he has to help show others younger that there's a better way.
And that's what I want to do too.
So I think that's, you know, I don't sense from either of you, the time I've known you guys, that there is an underlying hostility towards others because of, in this case, racism.
Yeah.
The fact is, things happened to you that felt racist.
Yeah.
But you seem to have taken those times, those moments, and used those as motivation to try harder,
And to prove everyone wrong.
to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
And I think this sounds like a pretty good way of living life, rather than getting bitter or torching things or
Yeah.
getting involved in organizations that have violence
Yeah.
as if that's going to cure anything.
That's like the one thing sports teaches you is like you learn how to respect the sport, you learn how to respect the people and whoever's competing with you, right?
So you've seen that
Yeah.
in your life. You competed in Panama.
Yeah.
You've won 6 Canadian championships in your age bracket category growing up.
Yeah.
You're looking forward as a dream to the possibility, the reality maybe, of getting to the 2024 Olympics in
yeah.
Paris?
In Paris,
in
yeah.
France. You have a dream to become a rugby professional.
And, you know, that just shows, you know, my future. That means I won't quit. You know, I could easily be like, I'm not working out.
So this has been good. Thank you, guys.
Chase your dreams, chase your goals. Don't let whatever anyone says bring you down. Just follow what your mindset says. That's
going.
it. That's keep going.
Yeah.
Just grind every day and plug away. at it.
This guy, Vikram, and Ryan both have very positive attitudes. And attitude up here is the majority of where you're going there. You still got to do the work. You got to get up every morning. You got to show up.
I want to say one thing. Hopefully in the next Olympics or in the future maybe, you'll see me and Vikram, Team Canada for track,
2024 represent.
and for rugby.